Long ago, in a small village surrounded by thick forests and winding rivers, there lived a young girl named Rejoice. She was known by everyone in the village because of her gentle heart. Even though her life was not easy, she always wore a smile that brightened the day of those around her. Rejoice's mother had died when she was very young, and her father had remarried a woman named Gift. Gift became her stepmother, and she did not treat Rejoice with kindness. Instead, she made her do all the housework. Every morning before the sun rose, Rejoice would go to the river with a clay pot on her head to fetch water for the family. The villagers often whispered, "That poor child works too hard, yet she does not complain." One hot afternoon, after working in the farm all day, Gift called out to Rejoice, "Go to the river and fetch water. Do not return until your pot is full," she ordered harshly. Rejoice, tired but obedient, carried her pot and made her way to the river. The forest was quiet, with only the sound of crickets and the rustle of leaves. She reached the riverbank just as the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of gold and red. As she bent down to fill her pot, she heard a soft voice. "My child!" Startled, Rejoice looked around. There was no one in sight. Only the river flowed calmly, its surface shining like glass. Again the voice came. "My child, do not be afraid." Then, from the middle of the river, an old woman appeared. She wore a wrapper made of flowing water and beads that sparkled like the moon. Her eyes were kind but deep, like the secrets of the river. Rejoice dropped her pot in shock. "Who are you?" she asked, trembling. The old woman smiled. "I am Miri Nwanyi, the spirit of this river. I have watched you for many years. You are different from the others. Even when you suffer, your heart remains pure." Rejoice bowed her head in respect, her body shaking. "Great Mother of the Waters, I am only a poor girl. Why do you speak to me?" The spirit stretched out her hand, and in it appeared a golden calabash. Its surface shone so brightly that Rejoice could hardly look at it. "This calabash is a gift," said the spirit. "But remember, it carries both blessings and curses. If you use it with kindness and humility, it will bless you beyond your dreams. But if you use it with greed and wickedness, it will bring great sorrow." Rejoice hesitated, unsure whether to accept. But the spirit pushed it gently toward her. "Take it, child. It will reveal who you truly are." With trembling hands, Rejoice received the calabash. The moment she touched it, she felt warmth flow through her body, as if the river itself had blessed her. "Go home," the spirit said softly. "Do not be afraid. Your destiny has begun." Before Rejoice could speak again, the spirit vanished into the river, leaving ripples that shimmered in the fading light. Rejoice stood frozen, staring at the golden calabash. She did not fully understand what had just happened. Carefully, she lifted her clay pot and the calabash, then made her way home. When she arrived, Gift was waiting. "You foolish girl! Why are you so late?" she shouted. But her eyes quickly fell on the glowing calabash in Rejoice's hands. "What is this you carry?" Gift demanded, her voice sharp with curiosity. Rejoice lowered her head. "Mother, I met a woman at the river. She gave me this calabash as a gift." Gift's eyes widened. She snatched the calabash from Rejoice's hands. "A gift? From who? Do not lie to me." "It was the spirit of the river," Rejoice whispered. At first, Gift laughed. "You expect me to believe that? Spirits do not hand out gifts. But this calabash is not ordinary." That night, as the moon rose, Gift held the calabash close, her heart filled with greed. She said to herself, "If this is truly a magical calabash, then I must open it and claim its riches. I will no longer be poor. I will become the richest woman in this village." But the calabash remained closed, waiting for the moment of truth. Rejoice lay awake on her mat, worried. The words of the river spirit echoed in her ears. Blessings for kindness, curses for greed. She prayed quietly, asking the gods to protect her. Far away by the river, the spirit watched, knowing that the true test was only beginning. And so, the calabash of blessings and curses had entered Rejoice's home, carrying with it a future no one in the village could have imagined. The night was silent, but inside Gift's heart there was no peace. She sat in the corner of the hut, staring at the golden calabash. The way it glowed under the moonlight filled her with restless excitement. She could almost hear her thoughts whispering, "Open it, claim the treasures inside, become the richest in the land." Rejoice, lying on her mat, tossed uneasily. She wanted to warn her stepmother again, but fear held her tongue. The spirit's words repeated in her mind, blessings for kindness, curses for greed. By dawn, Gift could no longer hold back her desire. She called for Rejoice. "Bring the calabash outside," she ordered. "We will open it before the whole village so everyone will see my fortune." Rejoice trembled. "Mother, please be careful," the river spirit said. "Silence." Gift snapped, her eyes flashing. "Do not speak to me about spirits and their foolish warnings. Today, our lives will change forever." Word spread quickly through the village. Men, women, and children gathered beneath the great Iroko tree to witness what Gift claimed to be a miracle. Rejoice stood quietly, clutching her wrapper, praying silently for protection. With pride, Gift held up the calabash. "People of this village, the river spirit has chosen my household. This calabash will make me rich beyond measure." The villagers murmured in awe, their eyes fixed on the shining object. Some whispered, "Is this truly a gift from the gods?" Others shook their heads, unsure what to believe. Ignoring them, Gift lifted the lid of the calabash. For a brief moment, silence filled the air. Then, suddenly, the calabash poured forth riches. Heaps of gold beads, shimmering cowries, and beautiful wrappers brighter than the sun. The crowd gasped in amazement. Women ululated, children danced, and men shouted, "This is a blessing from the gods." Gift laughed loudly, her voice filled with pride. "Did I not say it? From today, I am the richest woman in this land." She gathered the treasures with greedy hands, her eyes shining with hunger. But as the calabash emptied its blessings, something strange happened. The light that once glowed warmly began to flicker. The air turned heavy, and a cold wind swept through the crowd. The treasures disappeared into the ground as quickly as they had appeared. Before anyone could move, the calabash shook violently in Gift's hands. She screamed as the lid burst open again. This time, instead of riches, a dark cloud poured out. From it came snakes with burning eyes, scorpions with long stingers, and swarms of biting insects. The villagers scattered in terror. "The calabash is cursed," they cried. Children wailed, women grabbed their babies, and men tried to chase the creatures away with sticks, but the more they struck, the more the creatures multiplied. Gift dropped the calabash and fell to the ground, crying out, "Help me! Help me!" But no one dared come close. The snakes wrapped around her, hissing, while the insects stung her skin. Rejoice, though terrified, ran forward. "Mother, please!" She picked up the calabash with shaking hands and shut the lid tightly. Instantly, the creatures vanished, and silence returned. The villagers, still trembling, looked at Rejoice in awe. "The girl saved us," they murmured. "But why did the calabash curse her stepmother?" An elder stepped forward, his beard long and white. He looked at Rejoice with calm eyes. "Child, tell us what happened when you received this calabash." With a trembling voice, Rejoice explained everything, the river spirit, the warning, and the promise of blessings or curses. The elder nodded. "The spirit tested this household. The gift was meant for you, Rejoice, because of your kindness. But greed has no place in blessings. That is why your stepmother suffered." The villagers murmured in agreement. Some pointed at Gift, who lay weak on the ground, her pride broken. "She brought this upon herself," they said. Tears rolled down Rejoice's cheeks as she looked at Gift. Despite the way she had been treated, her heart was filled with pity. She knelt beside her stepmother and whispered, "Mother, you must change. Greed only destroys." Gift, ashamed and broken, could not speak. She turned her face away, but her heart began to feel the sting of regret. That night, the village could not sleep. The story of the calabash spread from hut to hut. Some feared it, while others admired Rejoice's bravery. Inside her small room, Rejoice placed the calabash carefully in a corner. She prayed once more, asking the river spirit to guide her. For she knew this was only the beginning. And far away by the river, the spirit smiled sadly, whispering to the wind, "The calabash has shown its power, but the final lesson is yet to come." The morning after the terrible event, the village elders called a great meeting under the shade of the iroko tree. The calabash, now quiet and sealed, rested in front of them. The villagers gathered, whispering in low tones, their eyes filled with fear and curiosity. The oldest elder, Papa Ease, rose slowly to his feet. His staff tapped the earth 3 times before he spoke. "My people," he began in a deep voice, "what we saw yesterday was no ordinary thing. The spirit of the river has visited our village. This calabash holds both blessings and curses, and we must understand its message." All eyes turned to Rejoice, who sat quietly at the edge of the gathering. Papa Ease called her forward. "Child, come. Tell us again what the river spirit said." Rejoice stood, her small frame trembling, yet her voice was steady. "The spirit told me that the calabash would bless kindness but curse greed. She gave it to me, not for riches but to test the heart." The crowd nodded, murmuring, "It is true. We saw it with our own eyes." Papa Ease then turned to Gift, who still bore marks from the bites and stings. She sat on the ground, ashamed and silent. "Woman," the elder said sternly, "you let greed blind you. You brought suffering upon yourself and the whole village. What do you say for yourself?" Tears filled Gift's eyes as she lowered her head. For the first time her proud voice was gone. "I was foolish. I wanted riches more than peace. I let envy and greed rule my heart. Forgive me, my people. Forgive me, Rejoice." The villagers watched silently, surprised by her brokenness. Rejoice, with her gentle heart, stepped forward. She placed her hand on Gift's shoulder. "Mother, forgiveness is yours. But you must remember, blessings come only to those who are humble and kind." The elder smiled at Rejoice's words. "You are wise beyond your years, child. This is why the Spirit chose you." Then he turned to the people. "Let this be a lesson for all of us. We must teach our children that kindness brings blessings, but greed destroys even the strongest house. From today, this tale will be remembered as the calabash of blessings and curses." The villagers cheered in agreement. Women ululated, and men struck the earth with their staffs. Children clapped their hands, repeating the name of the story. That evening, Rejoice carried the calabash back to the river. The sun dipped low, and the waters glistened with orange and gold. As she knelt at the bank, the spirit appeared once more, her form shimmering like moonlight on the waves. "You have done well, my child," the spirit said kindly. "You showed courage and forgiveness. You proved that even when wronged, your heart remains pure. This is why I chose you." Rejoice bowed deeply. "Great Mother of the River, I thank you. But what shall I do with this calabash?" The spirit smiled. "The calabash has fulfilled its purpose. It has revealed truth. But its power must return to the waters, for men's hearts are too weak to hold it. From now on, the true treasure will not be gold or jewels, but the lesson you carry." With that, the calabash slipped from Rejoice's hands into the river. It sank slowly, glowing until it vanished beneath the waters. The ripples spread gently, as though the river itself was whispering farewell. Rejoice felt a weight lift from her heart. She returned to the village not with riches, but with a story that would live for generations. In the days that followed, the villagers treated Rejoice with honor. They no longer saw her as the poor stepdaughter but as the girl who had been chosen by the river spirit. As for Gift, she changed her ways. Humbled by her suffering, she became kinder, learning to work with her hands and live without envy. Though her scars remained, they reminded her of the price of greed. Years later, when children gathered around the fire at night, their parents would tell them the story. There was once a girl named Rejoice, who received a calabash from the river spirit. It brought blessings for kindness, but curses for greed. Remember, children, be like Rejoice, gentle, humble, and kind. Do not be like Gift, whose greed almost destroyed her. And so the tale of the calabash of blessings and curses became part of the village's wisdom, passed down from mouth to mouth, from generation to generation. For in every heart, the choice remained: blessings or curses, kindness or greed.